Good morning and welcome to our community affairs program that we call 30 Minutes. Today our special guest is Executive Director of Obion County Tourism, Miss Caroline Partin. And it's a pleasure to have you back on the program.
Thanks, Charles. I'm really excited. It's been a while since we've spoken. I think I had just started this role when we first got to talk on here, but we've got some exciting stuff coming up here in Obion County. Absolutely.
We have a big event coming up here in Union City here in just days, and you're going to talk about that today. How has the job gone for you so far since you took it?
Yeah, it's been wonderful. I think that there is just so much potential and opportunity for tourism to grow and really become a strong part of our local economy. And I have seen that through many of the people I've gotten to meet over the past few months. People are very excited and interested in the future of tourism. And I'm just so fortunate that we live in a community that wants to see tourism grow.
So you've enjoyed it so far?
Yes, it's been great. It's a one-man job, so there's a lot to juggle, but I love it. I'm so happy that I've landed here, and I hope that we just continue to change the future of Obion County.
And I would imagine that even in the short period of time that you've actually been in the position, you've probably met a lot of people, haven't you?
Yes, absolutely. That is a huge part of our job, or of my job, and our job as a tourism board is to be connected with our local tourism partners. That includes everyone from our attractions to our lodging, our restaurants, our retail, and also getting connected beyond just the local community within the region and the state to make sure that we're being good tourism partners. So there's been a lot to learn, and I'm very fortunate to have made a lot of great connections. I attended the Tennessee Governor's Conference on Tourism last week in Chattanooga. I was able to hear from Governor Bill Lee and Commissioner Mark Ezell on the state of tourism in our state, and I know that the future is bright. We are ranked 11th nationally in tourism throughout the country, and Obion County is actually ranked 26th out of 95 counties in the state of Tennessee in tourism spending. So for a small community, we are doing a really great job in the tourism arena.
And will only get better,
Yes,
think?
Absolutely.
Forming that board was a very big move also, going forward to have. And you have how many people on the board?
Yes, we have nine board members that represent different areas of tourism throughout the community, and those are appointed by the county mayor and the county commission, and they have done a wonderful job setting the stage for me to begin as executive director, and they've actually been they were an instrumental part in getting this upcoming conference here to Obion County. They made the pitch and the proposal actually before I was hired as director, and then I came in January and have been able to kind of take it by the reins and move forward with the planning and the implementation of the conference.
Well, congratulations on what you've been doing. I know you've done a wonderful job, and you've received some really good accolades from the Obion County Commission when you've made presentations, and I know they're very proud of the work that you're doing and still will do going forward. For some time now, we've talked about the Alabama, Mississippi, and Tennessee Rural Tourism Conference that will take place here in Union City on October 21st and 23rd, and it's here, isn't it?
Yes, it is coming before we know it. This has been, the big project that I have been thinking about planning for since I started this job, and it's really kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This is not a conference that it rotates. So it's called the Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee Rural Tourism Conference. And it is rotated annually throughout those three host states. And so each year, the host committee or the host location is chosen by a really competitive proposal process. And so I'm not sure that the conference has ever been held at the same place twice, so this really might be our one opportunity to host it. Of course, we would love to host it again in the future, but it's really just a great opportunity for us to bring in tourism professionals throughout those 3 states and beyond to come in and see what Obion County has to offer.
Yes, it's. I think it's really going to be outstanding. And for those that are listening today, what is the goal of the conference, meeting together with all of these people from 3 states? Yes.
So the conference is a collaborative effort that is focused on growing and developing tourism in small rural communities throughout the Southeast. So, of course, those are the host states, but this conference is open to any rural tourism professional that would like to attend. And we have actually been extending an invitation to our tourism partners up in Arkansas and Kentucky, just because of their proximity to Northwest Tennessee. We think it's a great opportunity for them to come and be a part of the conference. But the goal is, there are obvious tourism assets throughout our state. If you look at Tennessee, people from other states are immediately going to recognize Nashville and Memphis and Knoxville and Chattanooga and Gatlinburg. And those are great, and they have a booming tourism industry. But this conference says, hey, let's take a step back and help the smaller guys learn more and use what assets they have to boost their tourism economy. And so it's really just taking a step back from the tourism industry as a whole, saying how do we equip and empower these smaller communities to grow and do better.
And as you just mentioned there, when you named those, you were naming major cities across the state. But Union City is not a major city, but has so much to offer. Obion County has so much to offer.
And honestly, you would be surprised how much Reelfoot Lake really is a household name throughout the country. A lot of times people might not recognize Union City or Obion County, but a lot of people know what Reelfoot Lake is. And we're very fortunate to have that natural asset here in our community. And our goal is that one day, Union City, Obion County, all of those things will become household names because of the things that we have to offer here.
Caroline, how many people do you anticipate taking part in this over the 3 days?
Yes, so we have, it's a good problem to have. We have actually had to cap registration for this conference at 275 attendees. The most attendees this conference has ever seen before this year has been 200, and that was in Sweetwater, Tennessee. So we have far surpassed the conference record of attendees. We've had people register way earlier than usual, and we would love to be able to bring in anybody that wants to come, but unfortunately, just due to limited space, we do have to cap the registration to be able to accommodate everybody comfortably. But we have reached our goal on conference attendance, and we have some pre-conference excursions that I'll talk a little bit more about that have also sold out as well. So we've hit all of our benchmarks, and we're really excited.
So we're going to have visitors here in the area in Obion County and Union City during this, that this may be their first trip to this area too also. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. These are people that may not have otherwise visited here if it hadn't been for this conference. And like I mentioned, I was at the governor's conference last week, and I actually met several people from, the middle and eastern side of the state that have had Reelfoot Lake on their bucket list or have had Discovery Park on their bucket list, but have never made the trip over. And this is giving them, a reason to come do so. And they're really excited about it. And so we are offering, before the conference program actually begins on Tuesday, Monday, we are offering 2 excursions. One will be to White Squirrel Winery for a vineyard tour and wine tasting. We have 80 people attending that tour, and then we have 90 people attending an afternoon tour at Reelfoot Lake State Park. They'll be able to see the wildlife, tour the park itself, and then they will alternate going on a pontoon tour across the lake to see the wildlife and the natural beauty that Reelfoot Lake has to offer. So those are really exciting. And then for the people that are coming in that don't necessarily have a spot on that tour, we're going to be providing them with a list of other opportunities to go shop, eat, and explore Obion County. So we want to make sure that they're getting out and spending spending money and putting dollars back into our local economy while they're here.
Oh, I think that's fantastic. And word of mouth advertising is fantastic also. Those people will go back to their respective places and say, you guys need to go up there and see that.
Yeah, so that's really the best built-in benefit of having this specific group of people here, because all of the tourism professionals that are going to be here, you know, they're paid marketers. That's their job. They're marketing each and every day for their community. They're active on social media. They're happy to tell people about a good experience. And if we can provide a good experience here in Obion County, they're gonna advertise and market for us for free. And that's what we want. And that really is, you know, probably the biggest benefit to the community, but there's a lot of other benefits as well. We had room blocks at a lot of our local hotels. We've actually sold out room blocks at 4 of those hotels and are still booking at some of the additional hotels. We've even lodging down at Reelfoot Lake and Airbnbs here in the community. So those are continuing to fill up, which is great because that allows us to collect occupancy tax, which goes back into our tourism efforts. And then we're also going to be partnering with a lot of local restaurant vendors for the meals that we're having and some of the activities that we're offering during the conference.
So it's going to be a huge benefit for all the businesses and people here in the area.
Yes. And so some of the highlights, I guess, are going to be, we're going to host receptions both nights. So during the day, attendees are going to be hearing from a host of speakers. That's really their opportunity for professional development. We're going to have some speakers here, a former Southern Living author. There's going to be tourism attraction managers from throughout the state, some social media influencers, just really a wide variety of speakers for people to learn from. And so during the day, that is what the attendees will be doing, but we want them to have fun and have a good experience while they're here. And so each night we are going to be offering some receptions. And so those are going to be catered locally. The second night, we're going to have a progressive dinner through Discovery Park, where we've partnered with some local restaurants to set up sample stations. And so we're going to be able to include quite a few restaurants and really give people a true taste of Northwest Tennessee while they're here. We're also going to have some entertainment, really just trying to provide them with the best experience possible.
That's fantastic. Again, today we are speaking with Miss Caroline Partin. She is the Executive Director of Obion County Tourism, and we're talking about the Tennessee Rural Tourism Conference that includes Alabama and Mississippi to take place on October 21st and 23rd here in Union City. Let's back up. When did the idea or the collaboration come together to say, hey, let's make a pitch and see if we can host this?
This started long before I was ever in my job, and I am very thankful that our board members and some of our local partners had the foresight, had attended this conference previously, and decided this is really something that they felt like we could accommodate here in Obion County. So it was kind of a combination effort between our county mayor and our elected officials, as well as my tourism board, and then Discovery Park, the host venue. And they were able to go pitch. This was actually in the summer of 2023. They put together a proposal for the Rural Tourism Conference Committee, and they made a proposal to them. And there's a lot of requirements to host a conference like this. You have to have an adequate meeting space, and we're very fortunate that we have that with Discovery Park. We had to have adequate accommodations for people to stay overnight. We had to make sure that we had unique activities for them to partake in while they were here. And so all of those things together were a part of this proposal. And I think what really set us apart was the uniqueness of Discovery Park. You know, it's not like people are coming to just sit in a convention center all day. And convention centers are great. But I think that these attendees are really going to get a unique experience coming to Discovery Park and getting to enjoy the park while they're here. And then I think being able to provide that value of going to the winery and Reelfoot Lake, and then having other options for them here, just really set us apart as a competitive host location.
who makes the final say on where the location will be?
The Rural Tourism Conference Committee is composed of, there's a few, I would say, founding members that have been with this conference since the very beginning, the chairman, and a few other folks that just really brought this idea to life. But then each year, when a location hosts, they ask a representative from that host location to stay on board with the committee for a few years. And so really, you kind of get voted on by previous host locations as well as those founding members of the committee. And so they will hear all of the pitches and the proposals. And for this particular conference, we were competing against other locations throughout Tennessee because this was the year for Tennessee to host the conference. And so other communities throughout Tennessee pitched as well. And then they will hold a private vote, and they just notified us that we won. And we're excited.
That is great. So I see this was Tennessee's year. Mm-hmm. So next year could be Alabama or Mississippi. Yes. Some city would host then.
Yes. So next year is going to be in Alabama. I actually have been able to represent Obion County on the committee this year. So I've been attending all of the meetings to make sure that we're doing everything correctly, but also to just be involved in the behind the scenes planning of the conference. And so we actually already heard those proposals back in July, and Athens, Alabama was chosen to be the host community for next year.
So you do have to give pretty good advance notice who is hosting so they can start preparing.
Yes, absolutely. And they work hard to put those pitches together.
Well, that is fantastic. Do you learn from that, seeing those pitches and proposals? Is that something that you
absolutely
take note of?
Yes, I like to take notes whenever. So I attend a lot of conferences for professional development, learning about what marketing opportunities are out there for tourism professionals, learning about what data is available. So I have attended several conferences over the past year to help grow Obion County tourism, and every time I do, I take notes from whoever's hosting those conferences. I'm going to make sure that we have water bottles on the buses when we go out on tours because people get thirsty, right? So little things like that you might not think about really do go a long way. And I think I've learned a lot about making sure that we're being welcoming and hospitable. Another thing that I've noticed in a lot of other communities that I really want to emphasize for our folks here in Obion County is that it is so wonderful to go into a community and see welcome signs, or when you go into a business, for them to know that the conference is happening and to be very friendly to the attendees, to ask where they're from, to thank them for coming to the community. And so I would really like to encourage any of our merchants, any of our restaurants, retail, to make sure that you're being welcoming to these folks when they're here October 21st through 23rd. That's a really great opportunity to capture some folks from out of town and to really make them feel welcome here in Obion County.
That goes a long way, doesn't it?
It does. It absolutely does. And we're doing our best to provide information to the attendees about where there is to go, where there is to eat, where there is to shop. We want to provide that for them, but it's up to our local businesses to make sure that they feel welcome once they're there.
Although you have activities going on at Discovery Park, these people will be out mingling in the communities. They could be downtown Union City or Dixie Gun Works. They could do things on their own, right?
Absolutely. And another interesting perk about this conference is that Tennessee Main Street is actually hosting their annual meeting in conjunction with this conference. So my friend Katie Graves over at Main Street Union City is going to be taking those Main Street folks that are here for the conference on a tour of downtown. I think that they're going to be visiting the new brewery, Real Foot Brewing Company, and they're going to do some other interesting things with Main Street while they're here. So that's a group that we know is going to go downtown. Katie has also been very gracious and is providing what's called Main Street money for all of the conference attendees. And so each conference attendee will get like a $5 coupon to use with Main Street merchants in their welcome bags. And so we're hoping that while they're here, they will go downtown and shop and use that Main Street money. So I'm very thankful for what our local partners are doing, and not just Katie, but our local Chamber of Commerce, our West Tennessee Chamber of Commerce, our Northwest Tennessee Tourism Director, Casey Mitch, has been an instrumental part of this conference. We're so thankful to have all of these people working together. We also have several local businesses that are providing either goodie bag items or they're setting up as a vendor. I really want to thank Jiffy Steamer. They're sponsoring, just helping us out with some of the costs associated with this conference. And we would love to include more. So if there is anybody out there listening that would like to provide coupons or gift items or whatever it may be to really showcase your business to these conference attendees, we would love to have you.
When do you anticipate people to start arriving in the area for the conference?
Yeah, so some people will be coming in Sunday, which will be October 20th, just because they have a pretty decent commute, and a lot of people will be driving. That is the interesting thing about this conference, is a lot of people are going to be driving in. And so I would say a lot of people will be here beginning on Sunday. The majority will arrive on Monday, and then they will be departing from Discovery Park around noon on Wednesday, the 23rd. And so we're hoping to keep them here that afternoon and to do a little bit more while they're here in Obion County.
Well, tell me this, Caroline. When these people leave and go back, what do you want them to take with them? Yeah,
so The biggest thing is I just want them to have a great experience. I want them to 10 years from now still remember their time here. And people are impressionable. And there's been conferences that I've heard people say, oh, that wasn't that great. Or, oh, that was wonderful. I wish I could go back. And people do go back, especially people that are in the tourism realm. They are more prone to travel, and they're more prone to be excited about a unique community. And so, I really think we have a unique opportunity to capture their attention while they're here. We have some special guests that are coming. So Blue Spire Kitchen has actually partnered with us to have Daryl Worley here on site for the conference.
That's great.
They're going to be recording his new podcast, which is Sounds Like Life with Daryl Worley. They're going to be recording a few episodes, and then he's going to be on site at the conference, meeting with attendees, doing a little meet and greet, maybe singing a few songs. And so that's going to be something I think that's going to be very memorable. But I think, to me, the most memorable parts will be the unique businesses and offerings that we have here in our community.
And this is the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. That's 3 days, but you have to really think, you can't take everything that you have to offer here in this area in 3 days.
Oh, absolutely not.
They'll come back.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, for most of these people, this is a work trip, right? So, it's just going to, they might bring their spouse, but it's probably just going to be them. And, these people have families. They're going to want to bring their children or their grandchildren back to Discovery Park. They're going to want to bring their families back to the lake, maybe not to the winery, but they might want to bring their spouses back. And I think that we're going to expose them to as much as we can. Higher Ground has been a great partner. They're going to provide coffee for all of our breaks. And, I don't know if y'all know me, but I'm a Higher Ground twice a day type of girl. And I hope
you're going to need it.
I hope they're going to love it so much that they're going to want to go again while they're here. So those little things, providing them glimpses of opportunities, providing them with coupons and a list of things to do. We just want to expose them to as much as we can. And I really, really do think that this is going to be just a very influential conference for our community.
Yes. And I know you're proud of the special guests that will be coming.
Yes. So I'm very thankful for that partnership with Blue Spire Kitchen and having Daryl Worley here on site. We're also really excited. So Marty Marbury, she is our West Tennessee tourism, I guess you could say, liaison. She kind of helps be the middleman between all of our West Tennessee tourism organizations and the state tourism department. She has been so helpful in providing guidance and getting the speakers together for this. And that will also include Commissioner Mark Ezell. We are so excited to have him here in Obion County because, you know, sometimes it's hard for people to get away from that Nashville area. They're very busy, and we totally understand that. But this is a really good opportunity to get some of our state tourism folks here in West Tennessee and really get a picture of what we've got going on here.
Mr. Ezell, he's no stranger to Obion County, though.
No. Of course,
think he likes Obion County.
He has been wonderful. He loves Obion County. He loves all of our rural communities, and he has done an excellent job pushing initiatives for rural communities and trying to make resources more accessible for what we call distressed or at-risk counties. And he and his team have done an excellent job partnering with us on that.
And you touched on it briefly just a minute ago, but I know you really want to hit on this, is the community can be a part of this, and there are ways, and you kind of touched on it, but go over that again so they will know.
Yes, absolutely. So that to me is the most important part of this conference, because we can control everything that happens within those walls at Discovery Park to some degree, but once they get out into the community, that is where they're going to really be the most impressionable. And so it is up to our community. And I know that our folks here are so hospitable, and that's why we're so excited to bring them here. But any extra mile that you want to take to be welcoming to them, we would so appreciate. We would love to see welcome signs. We would love for you to offer discounts or just special opportunities for people to come and visit you. And if you want to share those with me, communicate those with me, you can email me. My email is director, DIRECTOR, at discoverrealfoot.com. And I would love to get you involved in this conference in any way that you see fit. We are doing welcome bags for all the attendees. So if you have some free items that you want to include, or maybe want to sponsor snacks or water bottles for the conference attendees, any little thing like that helps and really gives you an opportunity to advertise really for your business. So we would love to have you. We will be cutting off those goodie bags on October 11th. So make sure you communicate with me before then, but we'd love to have you be a part of the conference.
I think this is really exciting, and I know you do too.
Yes, this is. We have people here all the time, and we love every visitor that we get here in Obion County. But I think this is what we really call a high impact visitor, right? So there's people that might stop here and they stay in their hotel room and they don't get out and do anything, or they might just stop and get gas on their way through Obion County. And yes, we're grateful for those sales tax dollars. We're grateful for their visit here. But as a tourism organization, we're focused on high impact. We want people to really stay, really get a taste of the local flavor, experience the culture of the community, to shop and to do while they're here. And these are our high impact visitors. Absolutely.
Don't stress. Is it too late to say that?
Yeah, so maybe don't ask my husband about that. We are going to make it through. And like I said earlier, I'm very fortunate to have a lot of partners and volunteers that are helping to make this successful. And I know that with their help, that this is going to be successful. I have no doubt about that whatsoever. And Obion County is just, continuing to grow. We just got our tourism report back for the 2023 calendar year. And we saw a growth in tourism in that year, and we hope to continue to see that grow. So I'm just excited, and I think everyone else is too.
Ms. Caroline Partin, the Executive Director of Obion County Tourism, and we thank you for all that you do, and look forward to the conference coming here in Union City, and an update after it's over, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Charles.
And that concludes this week's 30 Minutes program. We hope you enjoyed today's show. And, of course, we invite you to tune in again next week at this same time as we bring you topics and information of importance to our community. From all of us here at Thunderbolt Broadcasting, Until we meet again next week, I'm Charles Choate.
You've been listening to 30 Minutes, a community affairs program on Thunderbolt Radio. You can listen to this broadcast and others anytime by visiting thunderboltradio.com and following the Thunderbolt Radio and Digital YouTube page. Thanks for listening.